24 years ago, Marvel premiered their Ultimate Universe imprint. 9 years ago, it folded. 8 years ago, we started this very YouTube channel, Imperius Rex. Last year, it folded. And wouldn't you know it, now, in the year of our Lord, 2024, we have the return of both.
Welcome back to Imperius Rex. I'm Short of the Max Extreme.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave. To 2015 was when Marvel's Ultimate Universe stretched before it was unceremoniously...
You know what? By that time, it was probably ceremonious.
It was, yeah, everyone was about ready to be done. Ushered in by what a knockout team. We had your Bendis, we had your Bagley, we had Mark Miller and Brian Hitch over there doing their political drama action blockbuster event Ultimates.
Yep.
And then we had Warren Ellis, who we don't talk about much anymore, along with some other mainstays like Adam Kubert and just a bunch of creators that the Ultimate Universe was probably my first introduction to their work.
Probably so.
And became lifelong fans.
Oh.
I'm assuming. Unless my life ends right now. Then I can say with certainty. But we'll cross our fingers for a couple more good years.
So, I mean, me and you talk about this anytime we talk about comics. We say, hi.
Yep.
I'm Short of the Max Extreme.
Right.
Then you're Ghost Hunter Dave.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave.
Remember the Ultimate Universe? And then that's how every single meetup happens.
That's right. And I'm saying, now let me see that new baby.
So, when they decided to bring this back, I was actually shocked, because they touted this early on as like, this will never cross over.
No.
In which it did eventually cross over.
Didn't take too long.
Yeah, not only did it cross over, it just full-on merged.
Yes.
And then they're like, you know what? It's not selling so hot anymore. Let's shut it down. Dead forever.
Hickman, flip the lights off as you go. As you close down the universe. The multiverse, actually, with Secret Wars. He really was the orchestrator behind the full-on demise of the Ultimate Universe. So it's only fitting that he brings it back.
That's right. Before he shut the door on it, he goes, opens it back up, flips the light switch back on.
That's right. Leaves a little room for Evil Reed to squeeze his wiggly little hand out there.
Little long fucking head.
So what I loved about the original Ultimate Universe... 2000, as we established, we were right into high school.
Yeah.
We grew up on, like, the animated superhero shows. That was probably both of our kind of big introduction, outside of just knowing that Spider-Man is a comic character.
Yeah.
But then the Ultimate Universe came around, and it was like, oh, cool, I recognize these characters, but they, you know, they're in the modern world. And you can get in on the ground floor.
That's right.
Which we both did.
Very attractive offer.
That's right.
We bit.
To two very attractive young gentlemen.
Yes.
What was your initial draw to Ultimate Spider-Man?
I think that the fact that he was still like a kid, it was familiar yet new. I mean, you could get in at 0, and I'm always like a big Spider-Man guy. Huge Spider-Man guy.
I know.
So I would have bought it regardless.
Yeah.
Okay? And the fact that it was good.
Yeah,
also didn't hurt either.
Wasn't really a stipulation for comics at that time. I really enjoyed seeing a new take on all of these recognizable characters, especially the villains. I felt like every month I was like, oh, who are they going to ultimize next? You know?
Yeah.
And most of the time I was like, oh, I really like that. And to the point where, like, when I think of a lot of these, like, classic characters, sometimes the first thing that pops into my mind is, like, the Ultimate Spider-Man version of that. Weird, I know.
Hot take. Hot take.
They were a lot hotter in the Ultimate Universe, a lot sexier. Did you see that six-pack on Doc Ock?
God damn.
God
He's a
damn,
beefcake in the Ultimate Universe.
Sure is. Even get some undie pics. Spidey drops his drawers on him.
Yep. He's probably got a huge hog on him too, you know?
So how long did you follow the Ultimate Universe?
I followed all the way through with Ultimate Spider-Man. Everything for that. Other than those, I dropped off after I think the second volume of Ultimates, really.
Oh.
Jumping back in and out with,
Yeah.
like, Ultimate Fantastic Four here and there. I collected them all.
Mm-hmm. Just waiting for the excuse to read them all, right?
Yeah. The only one I didn't was the X-Men. Not a big fan of the X-Men. I made it through all the way to the end with Miles Morales, and then the Ultimate... the 30 different endings to the multiple.
Yep.
To the fact where, like, when Hickman was doing some, what was it, New Ultimates and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That one kind of took me by surprise because I was kind of off...
Ultimate Universe Ultimates, I believe.
Whatever! How many Ultimate things they put in there? I was kind of off the book. Yeah, I was off planet for those.
But we did read those for our Hickmania 3-parter, because it kind of kicked off what we eventually ended with Secret Wars.
Yes.
It was kind of the reintroduction of Evil Reed, and what a great character. He's one that has persevered throughout the extinction of the Ultimate Universe. Some various creators have brought him in, and even the Ultimate Universe itself has been hinted at. Al Ewing mentioned it in his also called Ultimates book. That really didn't have anything to do with the Ultimate Universe, but they do kind of reference it, and old Evil Reed, the Maker, is there. Yeah. And then Donny Cates also has him pop in his Venom storyline. And he's trying to get back to the Ultimate Universe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, there's all these little breadcrumbs that maybe they'll do something with it, and it never really seemed to materialize until now. Well, Johnny Hickman brings it back, but then decides, no, we don't want to do that. Let's actually go over to this other universe. And then we have the new Ultimate Universe. All new, all different. Yeah. The Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Universe. Yes. So this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the relaunch of the Ultimate Universe, and then I think we're going to save a little extra time at the top of the hour to dig into Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah. Which was what I actually coerced you down here to talk about, and then lo and behold, you read everything up until that, which has never been done. Never been done in show history. I assumed you would be reading Ultimate Spider-Man on air as we were doing the episode. Yeah. But 2024, you're full of surprises. Well, I like to keep you on your toes, Dave. More room for surprises, less room for stones. That's true. That's my new motto. Motto of 2024. Mine is, I'm going to dust more. That's also a valuable effort to put forth. Yeah. Yep. There was a cobweb in my son's room. I don't know how I've never seen it before. Uh-oh. Straight haunted house shit. How appropriate. Yeah. I've been on like a 5-second delay all year, so might be all the dust. Yeah. I think it's the dust. All the dust you've inhaled from dusting. Yes. No, from not dusting enough. So Ultimate Invasion, 4-issue miniseries, spearheaded by Jonathan Hickman of Hickmania fame, and Brian Hitch of Ultimates fame. Yeah. And I immediately got like nostalgia Ultimates vibes. This big old widescreen action. I even think like there's some panels in these books that kind of rip off like panels from the original Ultimates book. Oh, just definitely. Like there's a couple like a fun mirror like. Yeah, there's a few homages with Iron Man this time, Howard Stark in the suit, like almost panel for panel, him flying it through the city. Yeah. And then there's a fun little homage to one of the Secret War covers too, with the Maker and Iron Lad fighting, throwing a big punch. Yeah, throwing a big punch. So the setup is like the beginning of the Dark Knight. There's a heist, right? There's these 4 goons. They bust into this high security building, and they need to get something. Some guy thinks it's money. Some guy's just hoping not to get smashed by a school bus. Lo and behold, in fact, it is the Maker in a big square room. Ooh. Just sitting there. His one weakness. Unmade. Yes. Sitting there in the nude sans helmet. Its fun little code is 1610 to get in, was the Ultimate Universe's little moniker. Numerical moniker. That's it. Finally got there. Yeah. The Maker kind of was in on it the whole the jailbreak. And then like seems to liquefy these men. Right. As you would. Because that's what you do. And then now he's out and he's unstoppable. once they spring you from the clink, you turn them into drink.
That's very good.
I know we moved past it, but it came to me, and I wouldn't be able to proceed with the show.
Smoke them and drink them.
Yep. That's right. He melts them and then reforms them into like a double of himself.
Yeah.
To trick whoever comes in for about 2 seconds. Until then, they liquefy again.
Could the Maker do that before? Just turn into a puddle? I know he's a Reed Richards type.
So he's out.
He's out.
And he's getting his gear together.
What was it, like something from every
something
Illuminati
for everyone.
member?
Yeah.
Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Yep. Yeah, takes a little trinket and treasure from everyone on the Illuminati.
Yep.
And uses it to basically open a portal somewhere.
Yeah.
I think to the Ultimate Universe, right? Is that what we decided?
Is it the Ultimate Universe, though? Because he can't really get back there.
It's very much like one of those Monty Python, the Holy Grail things where they talk up Camelot, and then they're like, actually, Camelot's a silly place. Let's not go there. And then they go somewhere else. That's kind of what this entire setup is. But before he leaves, he contacts Miles, and he's like, hey, you and me, we're refugees, bro, from the old universe. I'm going back. Just thought I'd give you the invite if you want to come with me.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of nice of Evil Reed to do.
Hey, I'm going to go back to, like, where we're actually from. You want to come with? I'll turn you to liquid. No? All right. Then bzz.
I brought an extra glass. All the heroes, the Illuminati, converge on him, and they're like, hey, don't do that. Yeah. And then he's like, well, I'm gonna. And then he does.
It's like, hey, you took some seemingly important stuff from us. Some of it, I think, was a very big stretch. Right. Like the gateway from the X-Men. I'm like, okay, I get that.
Gate.
And then he takes, like, a stick from Namor.
I just wanted you to feel included.
And, like, he just cobbles together what looks like a big Krakoan portal. And that's all it is.
Probably only needed the one thing, actually.
The stick was just an insult to injury.
Yes. He hit someone with it as he left.
Ow!
I do like as he leaves, he basically asks regular Reed, like, if you had the opportunity, would you erase me from existence? And Reed's like, oh, fuck yeah. And he's like, okay, good to know. And then he leaves.
Yeah, deuces.
And that's about it. We get a little hint because he goes into this new universe, which is not the Ultimate Universe. And as far as I can tell, that is the end of the conversation about the Ultimate Universe. Then they're in this new one, which is 16... It's not 1610. What is it?
It's 6160.
6160. And
there's a chart about it.
Oh, absolutely. Chart graph. He goes here and stops a young Peter Parker from getting bitten by the radioactive spider. And then proceeds to do these kind of Earth-changing events going forward, and eventually shapes his own universe by removing all of these major superheroes from it, so he can essentially be in control of the whole thing. Yeah,
essentially it's like, would you go back in time and kill baby Hitler? But he does that with every superhero. Yeah. Not kills him.
No.
Just removes the ability to be super. And yet still, sects of it are still superpowered for reasons...
Superpowered sex?
Sects.
Ah.
Yeah. Not orgies.
Ah,
yeah,
shit.
I know. Which, really, I think the book could use.
I bet, yeah. There's still a Hulk.
Yeah, it almost turns it into like a battle world of sorts, where there's like different sects of different powered people.
Each nation, very Hickman.
You've got the Rasputins controlling Russia.
Yep.
Like in Africa, some people with the Moon Knight, Ra, and Khonshu powers.
In Japan, there's like Sunfire, Viper, and Silver Samurai. Yep. It's a veritable who's who.
All around the world.
Yeah.
And then centered in this is the Maker in Latveria. In his big mushroom house.
Yep. Yeah, which is from his Ultimates run, right?
Yeah.
Because he has, like, the city, essentially, where he can dilate time and speed evolution up, which comes into play at the end. But essentially, he's governing the world with the help of some of these other people. Hickman loves a cabal.
Boy, does he.
They're orchestrating these world events where, like, they all kind of take turns being the enemy, even though they're all working together, just to give, like, humanity someone to kind of rally against. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're off doing their crazy space adventures.
Yeah.
So I do like that setup and how they're all just kind of on this kind of uneasy truce, where it's like, yeah, we'll all play along until, like, we probably won't.
Yeah, yeah.
The new addition to this, hot young golden boy, Howard Stark, creates the Iron Man armor. He's partners with Obadiah Stane. They're good friends, and it seems like Stark helped Evil Reed create an Immortus machine to be able to travel back in time. And this whole thing is kind of this weird paradox of, like, you brought him in here to make it, but it's also already made.
Yeah.
But you have to make it for it to already be made.
Yeah. Because, like, so I read this very late at night. So, like, this whole episode is brought to you by Pissy Sheets. Because without him, you would have never been awake at 1 in the morning, couldn't get back to sleep, so you read an entire event.
Nothing lulls you to sleep like a Jonathan Hickman tome.
Yeah, he does help him make this Immortus machine, but it's like, it seems like he invites him back to, like, almost tweak what he's previously done. Unless that's something I took away from my very odd, sleep-depraved brain.
Who can say?
But also there is a man in a mask.
Yep. A Doom-flavored mask.
Yes. But it is another Reed Richards.
A good Reed Richards?
Yes, it is a Reed Richards.
So we've got original recipe Reed from the beginning, Evil Reed, and now a good masked Reed.
Yes.
And that is how they will be known from here on out.
And together, oh fuck, I already fucked it up.
Consult the chart.
Howard Stark. It almost like, it's like the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
They're trying to piece together this, like, machine to get back
out of
boxes of scraps.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
But they do it. They make, like another Immortus machine. So he's got them in twain.
Yep. Gotta close the loop.
Why do they need to do...
Are there two?
I think there are two, because he's got that blue one, right? And then he makes another one that he plants in his chest.
Oh. And does that go on to Kang?
Yeah.
Oh. Alright.
Also, there's a Kang in this.
But he's called Iron Lad, and it's Tony Stark.
Yes.
Still following?
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Nope.
This whole thing is the biggest setup to what will eventually be, like, the ongoing universe.
Yes.
This may be the most complicated precursor to just a normal universe.
Yeah, yes.
Where, like, the whole purpose is so Spider-Man can, like, punch Doc Ock. Eventually. But before he can do that, we gotta deal with Immortus engines and Doom-flavored Reeds and all that.
Yes.
But Hickman, he loves the setup, loves the Cabal, loves the maps, so it's got all of them. As you're reading this, you're like, where is this going?
Yes.
And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, okay, cool. That was a lot to get to that.
And especially if you read Spider-Man first. And they have a large preamble at the beginning of the Spider-Man book, and you're like, whoa, okay. And then none of those questions are answered in this event. Not at all. There's actually another book that answers all of those questions I had.
Honestly, you probably could have just been okay with that little preamble at the beginning of Spider-Man. It probably tells it more concisely than anything that
it does
preceded
fit on one page.
Yeah.
But before we just jump to this one really quick.
Oh.
Put those back.
I'm sorry.
I do like this 4-issue like mini event. It is convoluted. I'm really hyping it up now. I don't even think it's really that exciting. I think it's doing a lot of legwork to get to something even better.
It's a ton
but it's
of
the
world
Hickman
building.
game.
Yep,
and
it absolutely is.
So I'm waiting for it to pay off down the road because it can set up a whole lot of stuff. So with that, I really like the maker. I like the twists on all the characters. I like what they're doing in this universe. But I don't feel like I was wowed by it like I was wanting to be wowed by it.
No, I didn't quite get the Hoxpox energy from this.
Yeah, exactly. It seemed like it was trying to do it so bad.
Yeah, but it just... like, Hoxpox was just jumping all over the place. It didn't waste any time.
Right.
This is a slow burn. Where you're 4 issues in and you're like, where is this? Like, are any of these characters going to be in the main book? Like, what is happening? Why are we with Howard Stark? And by the end of it, like, pretty much everyone that we've been introduced to in this is off the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it ends with Howard Stark killing himself to stop Reed, and also there's all these future superheroes who keep going back in time to try to stop him, and they keep not being able to do it. And finally Howard's like, fuck it, I'll do it myself! Beep!
He just blows his fucking self up.
Yep, and by doing that, the city seals up into its, like, weird time evolution chamber for 2 years. So Reed and all of his cohorts, his cabal, evil Reed, mind you, they're trapped in there, but they're like, it's fine, we're gonna evolve like 10,000 generations in that 2 years, so when those doors open, we're gonna be like so fucking next level. So that's where the villains essentially are. And then we finally shift to, like, what this new universe is actually about, and it's about the heroes that were left over that are like, oh shit, we need to, like, prepare for when he comes back.
Yeah.
So they break into his files, they start recruiting some of the people that were either, like, kind of brainwashed or thrown off path.
Yeah.
And bringing them back together to make a team and be like, we need to get ready because the Maker's going to come back swinging.
Yeah.
And who knows what he's going to look like.
Right.
He might have an even longer head by that point. He might be all head.
God bless, hope so.
That is where these 4 issues end, and then this kind of weird one-shot epilogue leaves us, where they're getting a new team together, led by a young Tony Stark. Also, they dig up a frozen Captain America, but they just don't know how to de-thaw him yet. They convince Thor he's worthy. Sif tags along. And is there anyone else in that initial group? And Doom.
And Doom.
Green-flavored Doom, or Doom-flavored Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. They make reference to trying to find a Captain America in the event book. And it looks like they don't find him. But Tony Stark in this finds him. It's like, oh, I knew where he was all along. He was in this block of ice over here. But did the Maker already know he was there? Because they make reference to, like, his blood was taken.
I don't know. I read it.
You read this
4
months ago. Damn it. In every other incarnation of Captain America being frozen in ice, they pretty much put him in front of a space heater.
Yeah.
And he perks right up and he's like, oh, Red Skull, where are you? And in this, they're like, hold on, Thor, don't hit him with a hammer. You don't know if that'll melt the ice good enough.
Thor hits the ice and it just breaks in a chunk and takes his arm with him. They're like, ah.
They were like, I don't know why. That's the only reason I'm like, wait, did they take his blood? Like, why is it such a huge thing? They're like, I don't know how to quite thaw him yet. Should we inject him with some, like, weird nanomachines? And Thor's just like, I can do it.
Thor, don't you do that.
Stop me. Somebody stop me.
I love that this is the biggest hurdle that they come across. Like, Tony Stark is literally jumping back and forth in time.
I mean, maybe he doesn't know when all these events took place where the Maker undid everything. But it seems like if you've got time powers, you can just be like following him.
Yeah.
And be like just ready to undo everything that he undoes.
Every time he turns around, Thor puts that hammer down. Just constantly.
Let me get one in.
Just one good clean whack at it. I'll knock him right out of that ice block. God, you just wait.
But this one had a fun little espionage thing in it where they're like, hey, Thor, you know that hammer that you want to hit everybody with? Why don't you use it to...
Yeah? Oh, this hammer?
Why don't you use it to teleport us in that dome of his, and we're going to steal all of his stuff. We're going to steal all these cylinders that's got superhero information in them. And they're like, well, how many are there? And they're like, hundreds.
In fact, just thinking about it, let's not.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot to carry.
But they give it a go.
They give it a go.
They teleport in there, and they're like, Thor, do you think you can teleport like all of this shit? And he's like, can I? And he's like, he's winding up, gets stabbed in the back by this douchey Captain Britain who's French. He speaks French.
Sacre bleu.
I know. But anyway, I know Captain Britain's like a big deal, but he kind of sucks. And it just...
You know what? He's not a big deal to me.
Okay, good. I'm gonna follow your lead.
Please do.
He's got a stupid ponytail even.
Oh, fucking guy.
God, this fucking guy.
He's the worst.
And he speaks half in French all the time. I know I've already said that, but it's like written in French too, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this means. And he just goes in and out of English and French. I'm like, all right, fucker. Like, enough.
Enough.
Enough! But you can kind of tell everyone else kind of doesn't like him.
Oh, no one likes him. Yeah, they all hate him.
Because after he gets his eye, like,
why do you think they sent him to go fight Thor?
He's like, look what he did to my eye, sacre bleu! And they're like, shut the fuck up. God, you suck. But anyway, I love that.
Yeah, best part of the book. I like the art in this too. Caselli.
Mm-hmm.
Not super familiar with this artist.
Me neither, but I liked him.
I enjoyed it, and you know what? This was kind of an eye-opening moment to me because growing up loving Ultimates, I've kind of soured on old Brian Hitch, unfortunately.
Yeah. Still
think amazing artist, but just my own personal taste and preferences in comic art has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not big on like the super hyper-detailed, sketchy look.
I do think his first run is more detailed.
Yeah.
And like, I still quite like that. Like, it has a time and place. Sometimes when you're too hyper-detailed, people look like stagnant.
Yes.
Like they don't have any motion in
They're
them.
very and they've all got that one Brian Hitch kick.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's usually Spidey doing it. With his weird, fucked up looking foot.
Yeah.
Show your foot.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the knife foot?
That is the knife
foot.
foot.
Yeah, that one.
Good taste of that knife foot. I do think his art in this has removed itself enough that it does feel a little bit more kinetic. It's still got his style on it, but it's not as hyper detailed as like his older work is.
Yeah, I love that he was the one that ushered this in.
Same, me too.
Nice passing of the torch.
Yes, by just taking it back.
Yes. You know what? I got 4 more left in me. So Troy.
Yeah.
Tell us about this red hot book here, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oof.
Oof. Oof. Where's all this smoke gonna go?
Oh.
Alright.
So all that action led us to this.
This action right here?
Well, right adjacent to it.
Alright.
Right here.
Yep.
In this very flammable book. Ultimate Spider-Man. The pinnacle of the Ultimate Universe originally. And you know what? This could not be more different.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I care for the direction they're going yet. Because it is...
Oh my goodness.
Almost foreign to me.
Mm.
That being said, there's been an adult Spider-Man forever. But, like, I was shocked to see that he's got, like, a whole family. They're somewhat happy. He works for the Bugle. His uncle is still alive. Jameson seems to love him.
My God. You're just rattling through everything there is to talk about on this.
But, like, every
it's a
detail, like,
Peter.
it is. And
everything he would have wanted. Yet,
that's true.
He feels a bit unfulfilled. As if something is missing from his life. Turns out it's that spider blood in him.
You gotta have that spider blood.
Yeah, because Reed, Evil Reed, Long Reed.
Long Reed, yeah.
He interfered 20 years ago or so and removed that spider from the equation, so Peter just lived a happy life.
That's right.
Yeah. So Peter was responsible for Uncle Ben dying. Peter. I guess he always was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
All right. Good on him. Peter.
If you haven't read the Ultimate Universe portion, that leads directly into this, like, details that are really kind of crucial.
Then it's got you covered, because it sums it all up in a paragraph.
Right there in one paragraph. Even letters emboldened.
Yes.
But, like, it starts off with, like, the Parker family all going to a memorial. And I read this first, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? A memorial for what?
Oh, yeah. Because we didn't mention at the end of this, Evil Reed makes it look like young Tony Stark shoots like a blast from a satellite into Manhattan.
Big space laser. Yeah. Because he controls the news.
He controls
information.
Then he puts the blame all on Tony Stark.
Yes.
Which, cool, because, like, all before that small little detail, I'm just like, how does it happen that he's bad guy #1 in this Spider-Man book?
Yeah.
It's like the last page of that book.
Yes.
It's like, Jesus. And maybe you might be disappointed if you're going to look into this, but there's not even a Spider-Man in this first issue.
Fun fact, there's not a Spider-Man in the first Ultimate Spider-Man issue either.
Are you serious?
Totally serious.
They
both end with him getting his powers, I believe. First one ends with him sticking to the ceiling, saying like,
"Oh,
whoa, rad,
whoa,
rad AF."
Yeah, insert 2000 slang.
Yeah, and this ends with him.
Chumbawamba.
This gives us a very different Peter Parker. Something that we normally like get glimpses of in various kind of offshoots, and everyone's like, "Oh, I would love to see that." And then Marvel's like, No, he's a loser, and his wife dumped him, and he's actually a teenager, and he gets bullied.
That's right.
And Flash Thompson hates him. Sometimes they're friends, but he hates him now.
Right. He smells like shit,
and
too.
he's fucking dumped in the toilet, that's why he smells like shit. He got shit in his dumb hair. You fucking nerd.
That's what they give you.
That's what they give you. That's not what Hickman delivers in this.
No.
Instead, he gives a, I'd say, young, middle-aged, bearded, grown-up Peter Parker, who's also a little down on his luck despite having everything basically the way he was always dreamed it would be.
Yeah, right. Got 2 seemingly good kids.
Yep.
They could be shits. We don't know yet. Too early to tell.
Yep.
A hot wife.
Still got a hot-ass wife.
Great looking penthouse suite it looks like they live in. Got a great job with people like him.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure what his job is.
Tables.
He goes to the Bugle and we hear the Parker! Jonah comes storming out, and then, like, they have a heart-to-heart. And you're like, oh my goodness, this is a different Jonah Jameson. And he's like, oh, you're going to the memorial, you don't have a tie. Here, take mine. He pops his tie off and ties it around Peter's neck and just gives him words of encouragement. And my heart fucking melted at this.
That tie moment, I was like, wow.
This is amazing. This is something I never knew I wanted or needed. But it was so fulfilling and like cathartic to see Jonah Jameson and Peter like share a moment.
Yeah.
And them think like they've had their whole lives like this. Like it was very nice.
Yeah. They have an outstanding relationship. It's something that, exactly what you said, like I didn't quite know that I wanted.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice. And they end up going to this memorial of the around 1,000-ish people that perished by the space laser. May Parker being one of them.
Yep. Norman Osborn.
Norman Osborn and Emily Osborn.
Who's that?
I don't know. It's another Osborn apparently. Oh. And there you see a Father Murdoch giving a little commencement speech.
All right, let's get at it.
All the people there to commence the outpouring of feelings, and then it's taken over by Harry Osborn, who gives a little bit of a different speech.
Yes, he's a little bit more ill-tempered.
Yeah, a bit bitter.
But yeah, and then we just get hit with a slew of recognizable Spidey characters. We find out that the Daily Bugle is being bought by none other than Wilson Fisk. And he's got an eye-patched associate that kind of gives me some Vulture vibes, maybe. Who knows? And then their car is pumpkin bombed by a goblin in green. I'm assuming it's Harry, but we don't know who it is at this point. Norman's dead. Or so we think.
That's true.
Maybe it's Norman.
Haven't seen the body.
Faked his death. Show me the body. Show me the death certificate.
I mean, I do see a big name on a big stone slab, but I need to see it on paper,
right?
Okay, before it's legal.
Everybody's got a rock guy. This isn't that hard to do.
I mean, I got a rock guy.
You can engrave anything on a rock.
And we have.
But all this happens, and Peter's still mopey. And Ben and Jonah also mopey, because they don't like that Kingpin's buying the Bugle, so they're like, fuck it, I quit. And they decide they're going to start their own paper, or something.
We're going to start our own news.
Yep. The real news. We'll make it different. It's the truth. How you going to fund it? We don't know. That's a tomorrow problem.
There's even a conversation where they're like, we're only going to tell the truth. And Jonah's like, how about we don't lie?
Good enough. To vagueness. And then Peter has like a little heart-to-heart with Ben, says like, I'm just not feeling fulfilled. And Ben's like, then wake up. Then get after it, boy.
Yeah.
Like, be like me.
Get busy living.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or get busy. So Peter kind of takes that to heart, puts the kids to bed, has a chat with his wife, and he's like, I'm going to do a change. And she's like, she's supportive.
Yeah.
She's like, is this going to change anything with us? And he's like, no. And she's like, all right, then go ahead, do your change.
Go do your thing.
Go get him, Tiger. So he goes up to this rooftop, and then we get this like massive kind of info dump that Iron Lad gave him this ball of fun. And is just full of spiders, actually.
This ball of spiders.
I can travel through time and actually put like a 3-dimensional object in your care, but you still gotta let this spider bite you. There's no injection. I can't just like wave a wand. No. You gotta get bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You gotta piss off the spider enough for it to bite you.
Yeah, he's just sitting there like, oh shit. And he becomes a Spider-Man.
Yes. A spidered man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that's where we leave it.
So, like, I had a question about this. In the flashback that, like, goes, like, one night previous, where he gets the whole info dump from Tony Stark and all that shit, I'm assuming he brings us up to Mary Jane at some point, but how?
She seemed a little in the dark, but also just fine with it.
Yeah, so...
We still good? Yeah, whatever. Do your little spider thing. Is this what you're into now?
In the beginning of this issue, he wakes up and she's like, oh, did you have a late night? And he's like, yeah, I didn't really sleep all that much. Maybe he tells her sometime in that period we don't see, but, like, to me, like, they have yet to speak.
Yeah.
Right? Unbeknownst to her, he saw a holographic message come up in his living room and was teleported a ball of spider.
By a time goblin. That time fugitive, actually.
And that didn't come up in any sort of conversation ever before, like, the end of this. And then he's gone all day. He's like, we need to talk at night. And he's like, I think I gotta do it. Yeah, go do it. Did she know that it means become Spider-Man? Does she know this? I guess we'll find out.
What a supportive partner.
I just need to have a change. I just need to become a Spider-Man. I need to become a Spidered Man. Yeah. Oh! Go for it.
Go get him.
I don't know what that means. I'm just going to go to bed. I've already put on my sweats. I don't know. But anyway, this was fun.
Yes.
It took me by surprise a lot of the times, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. It kind of brought to mind the feelings of the original Ultimate Marvel Universe, while still being, like, up the ante. Because, like, these are familiar characters, but this is a very different story.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And
like, we have so many retellings of the Spider-Man origin, yet they still follow all of the same benchmarks.
Right.
And this seems like it could be completely different. Like, every single thing could be different.
Go Web!
And so, like, when Ultimate Spider-Man initially came out, I liked it because it was fresh. He's young again. I liked the teen in peril against this, like, whole world that is against him, and he has to figure that out. Now that, like, it's literally 20 years have passed, 20 plus years, like, I've grown since, and now he's in a position where I'm at, where I have a, like, wife and kids, and, like, what if I want to be a Spidered Man?
Go get him, Tiger.
I kind of like that take on it now where it's like, oh, he's got like a whole new set of problems that I can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Pissy sheets.
Pissy sheets.
How many bank robberies are going to go unthwarted because he's in the midst of cleaning up pissy sheets?
Over the last day, I've read this entire new Ultimate Universe, 6160, and so far I'm on board.
Cool.
Yeah.
I am too. It's rare that I'm like on board right off the bat, issue to issue on something. I think we're both the same way, where generally we kind of get the consensus and then we buy it when it's all collected.
Yeah.
But like, this holds a special place in my heart, and we're revisiting it through the pen of one of our favorite writers.
Right.
So like, yeah, I'm here on day one, and from what we've read, like, I'm in. I'm not blown away like I was on some of his previous stuff, but I'm very intrigued at the possibilities that this could take.
Right.
I'm gonna read issue by issue of this, and I haven't done that in a long ass time.
I know. Yeah.
So I'm excited to like go and pick it up at the comic book store every month.
Yeah.
Along with the other Ultimate titles, which I think I'm gonna give all them a try too. Like, why not? There's only a handful of them. There's Ultimate X-Men, which looks fucking bonkers.
I haven't seen anything from that yet.
Ultimate Black Panther, and then I believe Ultimates was just announced.
Cool.
So it's gonna be like four main titles, just like the original series was.
Awesome.
It's like, yeah, I can keep up with that.
Yeah. Golly, what a time! What a time to be alive.
What a time! 2024 is the year to be alive, as it turns out. Everything else was just practice.
Oh my God, a lot of practice.
A lot of practice.
But that's it. So what are your thoughts on this newfangled Ultimate Universe?
It felt like the right book to come back on.
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man. Bring us back to comics again.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments down below, what is your favorite thing about the Ultimate Universe, either this one, the old one. Who's your favorite character? You like the Maker? How long do you think his head is?
Oh, my God.
Let us know.
How long do you got? How much time do you got?
But until next time, I've been Troy to the Max Extreme.
And I've been Ghost Hunter Dave.
And this has been Imperius Rex. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Wow. Pretty serious.
Just realize there's nowhere for the smoke to go. Luckily, there's also no smoke alarm in here. The most flammable room in the house. Nothing but ancient paper.
That pile of oily rags over there.
Oh, yeah, that I greased up all the electrical cords with.
Yeah. Oh! It's like a spooky, sexy drink. Go. Hey! What's up there, Internet? Troy to the Max Extreme here.
No, I wanted you to say welcome back to Imperius.
Fuck you!
But I'm proud of how you just eased right back into what we would normally say.
Okay.
One more time.
From the top.
No, I'm not going to do it all again.
From
Just
the bottom.
From the bottom.
Oh.
You want me to count you
I thought
down?
you were going to lead me in. Sorry.
But say it to that one. God, we haven't missed a beat.
This is exactly how it was before.
No, just as good as we've always been.
And welcome to Imperius Rex.
Welcome back.
What? Stop. Let me do this again. And welcome back to Imperius Rex.
Great. Maybe one more time and then you say, I'm Troy to the Max Extreme.
Good deal.
All right.
After?
Don't you normally say, welcome to Imperius Rex, I'm Troy to the Max Extreme?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
God.
These are growing pains that most people have outgrown in their ninth year.
My side started to hurt.
Did you get pancreatitis back?
Oh,
Did
no.
it flare up again?
Just from stress of this intro.
All right.
Okay.
We did it.
Fucking never been done before.
No.
Not that good.
No, God. A new high point for our show.